First Step Homes Limited is a privately owned company formed with the sole purpose of delivering affordable housing for local people throughout the southwest of England. With offices in Bristol and Truro, its dedicated team is ideally placed to identify development opportunities in an area from Gloucester through to Dorset and down to the far west at Land's End. Consistent failure in meeting regional affordable housing targets has resulted in local people in rural areas being unable to find homes to buy or rent, resulting in their having to move away from their communities, families and friends. Even families on joint incomes in the region of £50,000 are unable to afford homes in the majority of the southwest. By targeting villages and small towns where there is an established housing need, the land finding team of First Step Homes identifies land outside but adjoining the existing settlement. The land would normally be in use for grazing or agricultural purposes and must be accessible from the highway, with no obvious physical or historic issues that might prevent development. Under government planning policy, this land is known as rural exception land. When looking at the suitability of land around a village, a sequential test of all possible sites must be undertaken. Each site is assessed on its position in relation to the existing settlement, proximity to day-to-day services such as shops, transport, healthcare and schooling, as well as vehicular access from the existing highway, location of utilities, topography and history of previous use and its designation in the local plan, such as AONB or weather at risk of flooding. Lastly, we need to establish if the landowner is willing to sell his land. The next step is to contact all statutory bodies who will be involved in the planning process, including the Local Planning and Housing Authority, to establish the suitability of the land in relation to local plan policy and the housing needs for the area. Utility companies, highways and the environment agencies to find out what services are available and if there is capacity for development, and also whether there are any environmental issues in the area. At the earliest opportunity, First Step Homes seeks to involve the parish and town council and the local community to ensure that any proposal truly reflects the needs and aspirations of the community. This involves meeting with council members, carrying out a leaflet drop as part of an independent housing needs survey, and holding an open event in the village or town of the proposed development so that residents can examine plans and have input into the scheme. Assuming positive feedback from these initial inquiries, various consultants are instructed to cover various aspects, including highways design, carrying out ecological, wildlife and topographical surveys, compiling mining reports, and carrying out soil investigations to identify any contamination, ground stability issues that might prevent development. This time-consuming work must be carried out at financial risk to establish development is achievable before proceeding to the legal stage. In conjunction with this, ongoing meetings with our design team are held to ensure the house designs, site layout and external appearances are compatible with the surrounding settings. At this stage, a pre-submission meeting is held with the local authority planning officers to present our proposal and discuss any amendments or revisions required. Negotiations will involve a site visit and will include establishing provisions of open space and play areas and levels of educational contributions. Once an acceptable proposal has been produced to the planners, a planning application is submitted and comments are invited from the statutory bodies, general public and any other interested parties. First Step Homes specialises in intermediate housing for outright purchase by qualifying local people. However, affordable housing covers many forms of tenure, including shared equity homes, sub-market rented property, social rented housing, and shared ownership. Each planning permission on an exceptions site must reflect the local need, and where requirements dictate, First Step Homes have worked closely with registered social landlords to build and deliver completed units based on their required design and specification. Previous schemes have included working relationships with Ocean Housing, Coastline Housing, West Country Housing and the Guinness Trust. From site identification through to the building of the units, all schemes are managed in-house. All homes are built to code for Sustainable Homes Level 3, usually using timber frame methods, which deliver high insulation values, resulting in low household running costs. Being members of the Considerate Contractor Scheme, procedures and protocol on our sites are in place to ensure minimal negative effect on the environment, as well as the day-to-day life of local residents, and where possible, local labour, subcontractors and material supplies are sourced. The ultimate goal is to hand over high-quality family homes for occupation by genuine local people, allowing them to live in the area of their choice. Each home has a 10-year warranty guarantee, and an agreement is in place to deal with defects under our maintenance obligations. In most cases, heating is provided by ground-sourced heating systems, which cut down on heating bills and are environmentally friendly. Rainwater recycling is in place, with secure design by estate layouts, including gardens with storage sheds and sensor-activated external lighting. The First Step Homes model of intermediate homes for sale allows local qualifying purchasers to acquire properties outright at significant discounts from comparable open market homes. There is no rent payable on the discounted equity, and the discount is passed on to successive purchasers, who must also meet the local person qualification criteria. To date, First Step Homes has been responsible for planning consent to deliver 311 units of affordable housing in the South West.